Hello, good evening everybody. Okay, so I'm hopefully going to keep this quite quick. This afternoon I was playing with a fun fold that I received as a Christmas card and was kind of just translating it to use in metric because the card was made in inches. I can tell that because when I go to measure it. Anyway, so I was kind of like translating it to use for one of my classes next month. And then I got to this evening and I've had a busy evening and then thought, what shall I do? So I thought, you know what, I'll show you the measurements for it and translate it back into inches, or give you the inches so that you've got it if you prefer to use 8.5 by 11. And also thought I'd use up some of that stamped paper that I created the other week. You know, the whole collection that I did of different papers. If you didn't see it, it was epic. It was like a 2.5 hour marathon of stamping, so please do go and see it. Right, hello everybody on the live. Hello Heather, Vicky, Anne. Anne, are you okay? I heard that New Zealand had some rough weather. Vicky, I would like Cheryl, hello, great to see you. Thank you, Vicky, for sharing all those classes. Thank you so much. Right, let's get straight to it. Switch my heater off. I think I'm going to be able to cope without heat just for the next few minutes. Okay, let's get this up and at the right level. All right, so here's the card I received at Christmas. What I liked about it is that it looks lovely just to look at like this, but then when you open it, it's a bit of a fun fold, and you can see how it opens out, and then this section here opens up to reveal the message, which I quite like. It's nice to have that little bit that private sometimes, but when it's sort of sat open you can kind of see it all the way through. So I've been working on one for my in-person ladies for next month. I just fancied having a play and I thought I'd get ahead, and these are the papers that I'm playing with. The papers are actually from two different packs, but because you know how Stampin' Up uses their colours, they sometimes repeat the colours they're using in other designs, so I think it's a couple of different ones I've got here. All right, so I've used basic beige cardstock for my base and also the opening up mechanism, and the plan is to stick a stamp and cut out a pretty floral to pop on there. So I wanted quite a dark background to then be able to stick a pretty flower on there, so that's why I've got a dark background with a floral at the back, and then here we've got a plain background there and then the floral, and then I've got two pieces of very vanilla that are going to go there and there, and we'll do a bit of stamping, and that'll be where people can write their message. So that's the plan. However, I thought it would be good to share with you, if you are a metric user, the measurements, and then if you are an inches person and want the 8.5 by 11, I will also give you that. Right, let's start if you are more of an A4 and a metric. So you need to cut a piece of cardstock that measures 15 centimetres by 14.5. Now the reason I do that is because you'll be able to fit two of those onto one piece of A4. Okay, ta-da, like that. And then yes, you do end up with a strip there, but you can use that strip. That's quite a decent kind of strip left over to be used for something else. Then from a sheet of A4 you should be able to get 3 mechanisms. So if you're someone who runs workshops for people, I can see Monica's in here, Vicky as well. If you run, Anne, do you do workshops for folks? Hi, Anne Percival and Lisa McCusker. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, some are A4 and use inches. Yes, that's so true. Yeah, that is true. All right, well, I'll try and give as much as I can, but I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out. So yeah, so if you use centimetres but you have A4 cardstock, you should be able to get 3 of these out of a sheet of A4. Sorry, I make a little adjustment. I don't know why that's looking lopsided. Is that better? Anyway, there we go. So let me give you the measurements for this bit here in centimetres. So your whole strip needs to be 26 centimetres long by 7 centimetres high, and you score, and I found it easier to do it this way round, where I scored at 6 centimetres, 12 centimetres, then 8, and then 20, and then you cut at 26. So it's basically 6, 6, 6, 2 and 6. So that's what you end up with. And then when you figure out the way that it goes now. Hold on. Right, so that end one folds it in like that, and then that folds like that, and you basically stick that onto there, and then when it opens, you've got this kind of like sweet little, almost like it almost looks like a little book really, but then you're able to you could actually stick it like that, and then it would open straight, but I actually quite like it a little bit moved up like that, and then that opens like so. If you want to do it in inches, I will give you my original did I just drop it on the floor? Seriously, I had it just in front of me. And then I was faffing. Oh, there it is. It's all right. It's right in front of me. No, yes, it is. It's right in front of me. All right, let me give you the measurements. Let's get the boring bit over and done with, and we'll go from there. All right. So your card base needs to measure. That's 4 1/4. That measurement there, and then that's 2. Oh, that's 2 1/4. Okay, that's interesting. So those two together. 2 1/4 plus 4 1/4, that'll be 6 1/2, won't it? Now, I'm presuming you could cut it down a bit if you wanted to. But, so I assumed this bit actually should be half of that, but it sort of isn't. No, it's just a little bit more, but I don't think it actually matters that greatly. Anyway, the height of this is 3 1/4, so a little bit higher than my 7 centimetres. It's more like 8 centimetres. And then here, the different measurements are 2 1/2. So it's 2 1/2, 2 1/2 there, 2 1/2 there, and then what's this? 1 inch there, and then 2 1/2. Oh no, it's not. It's less. That's 2. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay. I wondered why mine turned out a little bit different. Okay. So this section, they've actually cut it a bit shorter. So technically, mine should be shorter as well. Oh, I wondered why mine didn't open up as far. Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know that it matters greatly. There we go. All right. Anyway, the point was I wanted to use up some of this paper that I stamped the other week. So I've already got my base already cut out. And I just want to cut some pattern paper to go with it. If you've got any questions, just please ask me. I know I haven't probably explained that quite as well as I could have. All right. So I want a big panel to go on the back, and then I was going to use some of these to do my other pieces. So do you want that one? Or one with a bit of a yellow in it already? I'm sure I did more of these. Here they are. use that one. Okay. Oh, fabulous, Heather. Good. I can see that I'm being a bit juddery this evening. I don't know why that is. I don't know what's wrong with my internet. It's being a bit weird. Just going to change my setup slightly. There we go. Hopefully that's a bit better. Right, so I'm cutting out at 14, and then because my cardstock at the back there measures 10, I'm going to do that at 9.5. So that will fit beautifully into there. Then I'm thinking I could do that piece there. So I'm going to do that at 4.5 because it measures 5. So that there and there. And then I want to cut a panel to go on the front there. So I could do that a pretty kind of, a bit of this lovely floral left over. It'd be nice to have something nice there. But I feel like it needs a bit of a border. I'm wondering whether to put a bit of mossy meadow. Let's see if I can grab some. One of the things I did want to sort out today was my scrap drawers, but didn't quite get round to it. Right, so just double check. 7 by 6. So if I do this 5.5 by 6.5, and then just cut this at, let's say 5 and a bit, 5 millimeter by 6 millimeter. Because I want that to be a really narrow border. I just wanted to make this floral pop a little bit more, because I felt it kind of got a bit lost against the basic beige. There we go. See how that pops better? See, look at the difference between that and that. Okay, so if you're ever making a card and you think, oh, I've decided I want this piece of paper to be my focal point, but it's not being a focal point for some reason, try popping a little border of a darker colour or a contrasting colour behind it, and it'll immediately make it pop. So that does the job for me, because look, that looks so much nicer now. It's really bringing your eye towards it. Okay, and then thinking I could use the rest of this panel to be my little, to kind of go there and there. So if I cut this down to 5.5 plus 5.5 is 11. So if I cut that down to 11, and I'm not bothered so much about making the inside bit pop. I'm just going to cut that down. 5.5 and 5.5. Nice. That can go there and there. And then have I got anything that's like a little bit quieter that can go on the inside? No, I don't think I do. I mean, that section's quite quiet though. What if we put the quieter sections on the inside, so that leaves space for me to do a little bit of writing, and then just do the florals on the outside. Right, it will all make sense in a minute, guys, I promise. What we're doing, 5.5, yes, No, hold on. Yes, 5.5. I was second guessing myself then. 5.5, 5.5. Okay. Let's pop all these off to the side. Oh, actually, I'm just going to cut that at 1.5 because that can be stuck on the edge. Now, if I wanted to make some of those others pop, what I could do is get my Mossy Meadow pen and go around the edge of it like I did yesterday. Was it yesterday with the card making I was doing? Yes. Right, let's, I don't know why am I at a wonk? Okay, let's do that. Let's get the other light on. Focal point. The border really brings out that beautiful focal point. Yes, thank you. I knew what you meant. Is that Pick and Loop? Who's that? Is that Alison? Hi, Lisa. Oh, bye night, Janice. Janice is falling off her perch. Oh, hi, Annika. Great to see you. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Gina. See, when I have my head down, I obviously aren't able to concentrate on the words. But looked up and look at all those lovely people in here. All right, I feel that I do want to put a bit of a border. So I've got my Mossy Meadow pen, and I'm just going to add a bit of a border to this piece of homemade designer, never seen ever before in the world, DSP or patterned paper, because I stamped that by my own fair hand. And if you want to see how I did it, you can check it out a few videos ago. So if you're new to my channel, this is what I really love doing. I love stamping my own background paper, and that's kind of what I'm known for, as well as other things. But a lot of people come to my channel to watch me do that. And I hope also not just watch me, but join in and have a go themselves. And a lot of the folk who have a go themselves then go to Artful Stampin Space, which is my Facebook group, and share the results, which I love seeing the results. So, especially that Heather. Heather's a good poster. Hi, Miss Carolee. Great to see you. How are you? Oh, I bent my nail back. That wasn't pleasant. Okay, I need a little scrappy bit. I need a scrappy doodah. Right, spread the glue. Spread the gluey love. Right, that's better. Chuck that away, don't need it. There we go. So tonight's going to be a very quick video because I'm a bit late coming on here. But I hope this will give you lots of lovely ideas for doing your FUNFOLD card. Because the person who sent me that lovely Christmas card, I've cased now. So if you don't know what case means, well, case can mean lots of different things, but I think it means copy and share everything. Yeah, different people say different things. Right, I'm going to stick that one there. Ew. See, I was doing this and I was looking at you guys what you've typed, so I shouldn't do that really. I should just focus. Focus, Ruth. Oh no! Oh, don't move. Right. Now, what I was thinking when I was waffling away earlier was that I would keep that on the, now it is advisable to get your bone folder and give that a really good burnish, because you want that to stay down. And if you were so inclined, I would also suggest you put a magnet if you fancied it. But, okay, so that's going to sit like that. Yeah, sorry, what I was waffling on about earlier was the idea of maybe having a floral there and there, and then on the inside having the plainer, so that I can actually write my message over the top of that. Because although it's got pattern, it's the darkest colour there is crushed curry, really. I mean, that's got a bit of brown, but that's out of the way. So potentially I could pop a stamp a sentiment on there and then do my writing on there. You know, that's an option. Now, do you think I should go around the edges in green though? I will let you tell me in the comments while I... Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to do this one in green. Do you think the outlining is worth it in the green? I just think it helps to make it pop just a little bit. That's what I quite like doing it. So that one's going to go the ha, like that. Oh, Tom and I always go shopping. Well, generally, we always go shopping on a Wednesday after church. And one of my favourite staff at Aldi is a lady who I've discovered we both share a love of crochet, and so she hadn't seen this cardigan. So as soon as I saw her, I took my coat off to reveal, and she loved it. And yeah, we always chat crochet and yarn. She was talking about how she might order some yarn from one of those companies that I don't mention on this channel, and then she went, actually I do have enough yarn already. And she's very much looking forward to going on holiday to spend some time crocheting. So it's so lovely to be able to, you know, make friends with people over, you know, pastimes you have in common. It's a bit like us stampers, you know. A lot of us on this channel have become friends over the years, and with our united bond of Stampin' Up, which is lovely. And so, you know, you can get loads of us stampers in a room with lots of different backgrounds, different walks of life, different religious views, different political views. It doesn't matter, because we all talk Stampin' Up, don't we? And it's lovely. Oh, Inika keeps losing her connection. Inika, you're only over the water from me. Right, I need to go around the border of that one, but we will do that in a second. Right, stick this one in here and here. Actually, I wonder whether just to stamp something nice. What could I stamp? Thanks for being you. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I've never used that one. Right, I might just go and grab Mossy Meadow, because I think that would show up really nicely, and it will pull together the fact I've used Mossy Meadow. I need said meadow. I'm losing words tonight. A little practice. Oh, bit wonky. Oh well. Never mind. Could be worse. Oh, this is rather pleasant. There we go. And then final one from there. Needs a little bit of green around it. Just that little tiny line of green, helping it to show up just a little bit more. So easy to do. You don't have to have the Stampin' Up markers. Any felt tip will do. Any felt tip will do. A flash of green. Serena! Lovely to see you. Ah, rest well, my darling. I like the idea of a muted printed background that can be written over rather than always using a right panel. A right panel? A white panel. A white panel to write on. To write on. Oh, you know what I've just realised? I stamped it there. I was meant to stamp it on there. Oh well. Okay, so I have a choice. Either I could stick that there, and if I do stick it there, it just means that I won't be able to, that's the furthest I'll be able to open my card. If I just move it up a little bit, like to there, it means I'll be able to open that a little bit more, so that if I did want to write on that panel, I've got a bit more to move with. But I don't think it's going to make a huge amount of difference. Okay, so when it comes to sticking this down, my tip would be to fold that right hand side in and then in again. And then you want to have that 2 centimetre one showing like that. Don't do it like that. You want it like that. Okay, so you've got your 2 centimetres here and your focal point here. Then apply glue to the back, like so. And then figure out where you want it. But then you need to slide that one over the top of there. Okay. So as I said, I'm going to move mine over just a little smidge. I'm not going to have it smack bang in the middle. Just a little smidge. Then once you've placed it down, you can kind of open that up, and then give that a really good press. Okay. So it's wise just to give that a little bit of a push down to make sure it's all good and not going to move. Okay, so once that's all down, you then are going to figure out how much glue to put on this section here. So there it is like that. Open it right up, and then when you place that whole lot down like that, you can see you need glue up to that point there. So not loads, just about that much, about an inch or 2 centimetres worth of glue, and then place the whole thing, flap the whole thing back down and give that a push there like that. Okay, and then ta-da! It opens. Then you can have that open up, and then you can write your message in there like that. So, how cute is that? Super simple-ish. And this is what I mean about if you did want a magnet. The only thing about adding a magnet to something like a card, it makes it kind of non-recyclable. You know, if someone wanted just to throw that in the recycling, they could do as it is. But if you add a magnet, it's a bit tricky. So that's the kind of reason I wouldn't. But yeah, but to be honest, once someone's opened it and has it standing on their desk, it stays shut. It's only when you open it right up does it kind of like ping open. Well, it does for me anyway. But there we go. All right. Hope that helps. Any questions about that? It is cute, isn't it, Heather? And a great way to use up your Stamp One Sheet Wonders. And dare I say it, if you've got some Stamp One Sheet Wonders that you are not particularly fond of, but you can't bear to throw away, you properly just use them as your background rather than your focal point, okay? Because sometimes when we're having a bit of a play, you know, stamping something, we might not absolutely 100% like it, but it doesn't mean that not loving something 100% means throwing it in the bin, okay? Even if you just love it 50%, you might make it better by just like, I don't know, browing some colour over it or something. Actually I did do that on this one, didn't I? Was it this one? No, this one. See, it changes the look of something. Like I brayed over, you see I quite like the white and I like the blue, but if I got bored, you see, of that, I would brayer a colour over the background of that and change it up completely. So if you spent, you know, 20 or so, 30 minutes or whatever stamping something and you're still a bit disappointed, the first thing to do is walk away from it, okay? Leave it a day and then come back. That's the first tip I would give. The second tip is have a look at it through a template, a cutting up template. And if you want those, the link is in my description to my Ko-fi, where you can download the templates. So that's tip 2. Then tip 3, if you really, really don't like it and you're thinking, I've got no idea what I'm going to use it for, stick more colour over the top of it. Get your brayer and put some colour on. And then see. All right? But guaranteed, you can probably use it. You see how I've used it in a bit of a background there? You can probably use it for something like that. Don't waste them. All right, there we go. Great card. Thank you for sharing this and a simple way to make multiple cards. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, so because I design cards for workshops, I always in my mind have got to think of the measurements to try and get the most out of a piece of cardstock. So often I'm thinking in, you know, thirds of 21 or thirds of 28 or whatever, to be able to cut them out. So hope that's useful for those of you who have to run workshops. Right, lovely to see you all. Oh, excuse me, I'm off to Bedfordshire. Lots of love to you all, and chat to you soon. And if you're a demo and not checked out the pre-order, please do. Gina, you can check now. Last night, Gina was messaging me saying, I can't find what you were talking about on the website. And I was going, yeah, you click there and you do this and it's there. And then she went, oh, I don't think it's gone live for me yet. And I was like, oh no, of course, because you're a few hours behind me. You have to wait till midnight. So I always forget that there's that little time difference issue. Anyway, hope you got to have a chance to look at it today, Gina. Monica, have you got an order in? I have got a little order sitting waiting, and I can't decide whether to wait till the end of the month to do it, just in case some of my local ladies want something, or just to get on and do it. Just bite the bullet and do it. Oh, good, Gina, I'm pleased. All right, take care, everybody. Oh, I'm trying to find the right thing to press. Mwah, mwah to you all. Ta-da! Oh, she's got her order in, Monica. Oh, fabulous. Lots of love. Oh, Anne got her